എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. ബയോളജി ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് പോകാം. We have already studied about ovulation. What do you mean by ovulation? It is the process of releasing one ovum from the ovary. Usually one ovum matures per month. That is the ovulation. For every month, one ovum is produced by the ovary. This process is known as ovulation. Then what happens if fertilization are along with the ovulation? The preparation for the growth of fetus. Fetus means kunju shishu. The fetus take place in the uterus. Every month uterus is preparing for the growth of fetus. For this endometrium, the inner layer of uterus is endometrium. See this part. This is the endometrium. Endometrium here. Uterus inner lining is called endometrium. This part is the inner layer thickens and more blood capillaries are formed. Here it thickens. As a result, this endometrium thickens and more blood capillaries will be formed. And when the fertilization does not occur, see, this is the ovary and one ovum is produced per month. One ovum is produced per month and sperms, they travel through this and this oviduct. Oviduct, you know, this tube is known as oviduct, and here ovum and this sperm fuses here. Okay, this is the fertilization. What do you mean by fertilization? Fertilization means the fusion of sperm and ovum inside the oviduct. Here oviduct. Here this is the fertilization. See, when fertilization does not take place, all these preparations will become failure. What are the preparations? Endometrium thickens and more blood capillaries are formed. These preparations become failed. And this newly formed thickened cells, they peel off from the uterus. They peel off from the uterus means they get rid from this uterus, and they peel off from the uterus, and these tissues are eliminated through the vagina. See, when fertilization does not take place, these tissues and mucus they get eliminated through the vagina, and this process is called menstruation. What do you mean by menstruation? This peeling of these tissues and blood, mucus, along with the mucus and blood. This process is called menstruation, and it will last about 3 to 7 days. That depends upon the individual. Then menstruation. What do you mean by menstruation? Menstruation is a natural biological process that takes place in girls during their physical growth. See, menstruation starts at normally it starts from 9 to 13 years. But it may vary. According to one's heredity, food habits, state of health, etc. Then, regarding menstruation, mild back pain, then pain in the lower abdomen, nausea. Nausea means chardil pole. Nausea may be experienced. And this is not a disease. This is a stage. This is a biological process and not a disease. So nothing to worry. The duration of menstrual cycle may not be same in every individual. Some have 3 to 5 days, others then 7 or 8 days. That according to the individual's body health. Then generally, menstrual cycle repeats once in 28 days. That is, normally one ova is matured per month. Okay, so menstrual cycle repeats once in 28 days. This is a normal case. Maybe first or 2 years, 1 or 2 years, menstrual cycle may not be regular. Some irregularity is happening. That is not a problem. If continuous, you have to seek medical assistance. Nothing to worry. In any way, we have to maintain hygienic practices during this time. and it stops around 45 to 50 years. That is menopause. Pause means ninnu. Menstruation avasanichu. What is the age? 45 to 50 years of age. Got it? So menstruation is a biological process. It is not a disease and nothing to worry. We have to maintain, girls have to maintain hygienic practices during this time, and abdomen pain or nausea, back pain may happen. Okay. Anyway, menstrual cycle repeats once in 28 days. This is the normal condition. Some irregularity may be happen, but if continuous, we have to seek doctor's advice. Got it? This is the process. Then next, if fertilization occurs, menstruation and all, if fertilization does not take place, but when fertilization occurs, what will happen? The process of fusion means kudichal. The process of this here, the process of fusion, sperm comes from here and it fuses with ovum from the ovary, and ovary and ovum and sperm, they fuse together and form zygote. One zygote is there. Zygote is single celled. Then this single cell zygote undergoes division to form multicellular embryo. Embryo means tissue. Got it? First form is zygote. Zygote is a single cell. Then it undergoes division and form multicellular embryo. And embryo develops by attaching here embryo's growth is here in the endometrium. They attach this endometrium at the inner layer of uterus, and they grow from the endometrium. They grow by adhering endometrium. Got it? Then next is hormones. Hormones are produced by the endocrine glands, and it controls various life activities of our body. Hormones are very important. Secretions are hormone. We have to study this in 10th class. So this common language is essential for 8th standard. Hormone. Then next is placenta. What do you mean by placenta? Here umbilical cord and placenta connection is there, no? Umbilical cord and placenta. And from this umbilical cord to placenta, food exchange, nutrition take place, and elimination of these waste products from embryo to mother, that happens. And baby is inside the amnion. Amnion means one sac is there. One sac. The baby is covered with the amnion. Inside this baby is seen. Then one amniotic fluid. This amniotic fluid is inside the amnion to protect baby from external shocks and from dehydration. To prevent dehydration and to protect from external shocks. This is the placenta. Then placenta. What do you mean by placenta? Placenta is the attaching baby or embryo itself to the endometrium. Placenta is composed of what? Fetal tissues. Fetal means that baby's tissues, and uterine tissues, uterine wall tissues. And through this placenta, oxygen and nutrients reach the fetus through this umbilical cord developed from placenta. And this also helps to remove the waste from the embryo through this. Okay. Then placenta helps to exchange the materials between mother and fetus without mixing their blood. That is the important point. What are the function of placenta? Placenta helps to in the exchange of materials between the mother and the fetus without mixing their blood. The growth of baby completes within the amnion. One membrane is covering. One covering is there, sac-like. That is amnion, and inside this amniotic fluid is seen. Amniotic fluid, what is the function? and to prevent dehydration of the fetus, and it protects from the shock, external shock. Got it? So these are the important points: placenta and its function, then amniotic fluid, amnion, etc. What is gestational period? Gestational period means പ്രസവത്തിൻ്റെ ഗർഭകാലം. What is gestational period? ഗർഭകാലം. And it in human beings it is about 270 to 280 days. This gestation period may vary. In elephant there are a lot of days, then cow, goat, etc. difference are there. But in human being it is about 270 to 280 days. And this period, this fetus completes its growth through various changes, and it is fully grown baby and comes through the uterus, or comes through the vagina, not uterus, comes through the vagina, and this process is called parturition. Parturition. Okay, what is parturition? Answer is this: the gestational period, from the gestational period and up to this parturition. Okay, then next is the growth of fetus of the birth of baby, a complete process. Only a woman with physical and mental maturity, see, this is a complicated process. This is a complicated process. So only a woman with physical and mental maturity can accept this process. Otherwise it may be a failure. Got it? Then the part and function, this table I will give you, and various stages of growth. First as infancy, കുഞ്ഞു കുട്ടി, ശിശു. Then childhood, കുട്ടിക്കാലം. Then adolescence, like you, this period 13 to 19 years. Okay, this is the adolescent period. Then adulthood, mature fellow, and lastly old age. These are the various stages of growth in human beings. The next is about adolescence. What do you mean by adolescence? It's a very special phase in your life, everybody's life. Adolescence, it is a period of biological significance. Biological significance means in boys and girls various physical changes are seen. Got it? Then according to World Health Organization, adolescent period is from 11 to 19 years. Okay, sometimes it may vary, but it's common is 11 to 19 years. And this is a period from the onset of puberty. Puberty, when this period, puberty means it relates to the physical changes that occurs in individuals and making them capable of reproduction. Reproduction means to give birth, next generation. Okay, the reproduction and the process of giving birth child. Then the adolescence brings various physical changes, development of brain, etc. See the table, boys and girls, a lot of physical and mental changes are there. Girls, rapidly development is seen, but boys we cannot notice. We can notice, but girls, compared to boys and girls, their growth is physical changes is become rapidly increasing. Okay, then see, in boys fast growth, then sex organs become mature, then pitch of voice and the pitch of voice becomes sharp, here deepens, and ejaculation starts. You know, ejaculation and menstruation starts in girls. A lot of problems, a lot of changes, not problems, a lot of changes are there, but changes, mental changes become rapidly in girls than boys. That is the point. Got it? Adolescence is a very good phase in your life. It's a period of biological significance or biological changes that are happening in your body. So we should practice, we should accept all these changes in a pleasant manner. Okay, thank you.